Thinking of traveling to Peru, but not sure what to pack? Don't worry, I got you covered. Peru is a land of incredible wonders and adventure is everywhere. But here's the thing, if you don't know what to bring, your trip can quickly become stressful. In this video, we'll break down your Peru packing list step by step so you're ready for any situation. Whether you're exploring the desert, trekking the Andes, or taking in Peru's stunning coast, these tips will help you travel smart and stress-free. And if you find this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this. Alright, let's get started. Now, I'm not here to tell you how many underwear you should pack, but instead I'm gonna give you tips so you can survive all Peru's different types of weather. Because in the coastline, you have a different type of weather. It's more mild all year round. Like, it's not too hot, it's not too cold. Then you have the Andes, that's where it gets really cold. And then you have the jungle, which is always hot. So the most important thing you need to know is layers. Always layers. If you can bring a warm pants, that's fine. But I would always recommend having some type of layer like this under, so you can make any kind of pant warmer. Same for your tops. And then a down jacket is super important for when you go to the Andes and it's cold. And it's depending on the season that you come. A rain jacket is very important. Make sure it is windproof. And if you don't have thick socks or gloves or beanie, when you go to Cusco or places like that, you can always find shops where you can get cheap alpaca gloves or socks and all this kind of thing. So you don't need to worry about buying new ones from wherever you come from. So those are really helpful to have. And of course, you can have your hiking shoes and some flip-flops depending on the season you come. Usually it's from May to September is the dry season, and October to April, the rainy season. So bottom line, pack smart, layer up, and you'll be ready for any kind of weather Peru throws at you. Now on to hack number 2. Now let's talk about backpacks. I travel with a normal backpack because I carry a lot of camera equipment, so I use that one. I use those for that one. And I've been traveling with a suitcase, which I think is very convenient for me. I like it a lot. I can put stuff and organize better than having a backpack. Peru is relatively friendly with suitcase. There's plenty of roads, streets, so you can no problem roll your backpack wherever you want. You can use a hiking backpack, of course, which sometimes might be helpful if you plan to hike and go to the mountains. Compared to this one, of course, you can't use it, but the hiking definitely will save you the time of renting equipment. And there's one more item that I always like to have. I always like to carry some kind of funny pack, slingshots, whatever, because I always love doing day trips. So having a big backpack, or at least that one, is not always the most convenient, but something like this that you can just easily grab and go, put water and stuff, it's very helpful. And now, speaking of backpacks, which brings me to hack number 3. Hiking and gear adventures. Now, if you plan to come to Peru, and hopefully not just to Lima, and you want to explore the beautiful part of Peru, which I consider to be the Andes, the mountainside, there's a lot of treks, there's a lot of hikings that you can go. And definitely having a hiking backpack, one that fits for you, it's ready to go, you like it, you're used to it, it's very helpful. You can always rent everything you want, from backpacks to boots to poles to anything you can think of when it comes to hiking gear. But I always like to carry stuff like my headlamps. They're very helpful. I like to trust them because I hike plenty of times in the dark, and definitely me relying on a headlamp was very useful for me, for my own safety, because I like feeling like I can trust. And if my backpack breaks, fine, whatever, I'll deal with it. But having a headlamp was really helpful. And of course I have my own boots, so I have no problem Renting poles, I had no problem because I can just rent whatever poles and use them. So definitely bring most of your equipments if you already have them. But if not, rent them. But if you only come to Lima, then you probably don't need most of this stuff anyways. Now when it comes to toiletries and medicine, I like to carry my basic, my sunscreen, my lip balm, deodorant, just all the basic stuff. And I always carry wet wipes because not all the bathrooms in Peru are very clean, and I myself, I'm kind of a germ freak. I like, things to be clean, and I don't like touching just dirty stuff. So I always carry my wet wipes because they're very helpful. I can wipe myself, or hand sanitizer, it's always very helpful. And definitely mosquito spray because there's so many and they always choose me, like they love me so much. And when we were in Cusco and we were doing hiking, there are these mosquitoes, I think they're called sandflies. And those, it doesn't matter if you have like mosquito spray, they still get you. You need to have a special mosquito spray that has like some letters. I'm gonna put it right here. That's specifically what you need if you want to prevent it, because once they bite you, they like itch for like 3 weeks or something. It's awful. It was such a bad experience. And now unless you stay in Lima, you probably don't need this, but if you come to the mountains, then altitude sickness medicine, so helpful. You always should have it on your pack. Take one pill before your flight, just in case, because the worst thing for you is to have an awful experience when you are up in the mountains. Instead of enjoying the beautiful view, you'll be throwing up. Not recommended. Totally not. Actually, one of the things that I've been doing lately is packing electrolytes. Every time we go on a hike, we take an electrolyte, and that is such a helpful thing to have all the time. So let's talk about tech. One of my most important pieces is a simple power bank. This thing helps me so many times when I need to use my phone and we're traveling for long hours and there's no plugs or everybody's using the plug. This thing, I don't go anywhere without it. Like, this is like my favorite thing. Peru uses type A and type C plugs. So for me, having one of these things, it is incredibly helpful. You have all of them, all the type of plugs you can think of. And this gives me such a peace of mind. So I always travel with this thing. It is incredibly helpful. And plus this one has like USB and USB-C. So that just makes it one of the best things I always carry with me. And another most important piece is an AirTag. So many times I had no idea where my bag was. But now after having this thing always on my suitcase, I know where my suitcase is no matter where I go. If it's stuck on a plane, if it's somewhere, if I leave it on my apartment and something happens, I know what my suitcase is because I have this baby on it. I always recommend people, if you like traveling, get an AirTag. But if you only traveling to Peru one time, then you probably won't need it, but I still like to have it. Now let's talk about phone companies. Usually there are two major phone services, which is Claro and Movistar. I use Movistar. I don't always recommend it. Most of my friends and family, they use Claro. So I would definitely go for Claro. Get a prepaid SIM card. Do not get postpaid because Peru has the most complicated way to cancel postpaid plans. So avoid that one at all costs. And yeah, Claro works around all Peru. You have service. With Movistar, I had a little bit of a problem. So some say it's good, some say it's not good. So I will stick with Claro. And if you're planning to travel a lot around the Andes, sometimes internet might not reach in some areas. So there are two apps that I like to use the most, which is Maps.me. It's an offline map. You download the area and then you guide yourself. Because sometimes if you use Google Maps around Cusco, for example, not in the city, but when you go outside, if you want to explore Rainbow Mountain and stuff, sometimes it tells you a wrong direction that you need to go. So sometimes using Maps.me, it's offline because it has more tiny streets. You can get by better by using those ones. And the other thing is, like, The other app that you can use is called InDrive. InDrive is kind of like Uber works in Peru, but the thing about InDrive is you suggest the price to the driver and they have to accept, so you can negotiate. But you have to pay either cash or Yape, which any foreigner probably cannot use Yape. You will gonna hear this a lot if you come to Peru. Peru use Yape for everything. It's like an app, you give your number, you pay. But for that you require a Peruvian number and a Peruvian bank account. So unless you have those things, don't consider Yape. Cash is the only thing you can use. Now let's talk about money and documents. Now, Peru, it's all about cash and Yape. But fortunately for most of you, Yape is not gonna be an option, or all of you, so cash is your best bet. Now, if you come from America, if you come from Europe, it's much better to bring your own cash and then you exchange here. Now, in my opinion, the best place to exchange your money is this place called Casa de Cambio. It's like a tiny office. It's not a bank because the bank offers terrible exchange rate. But Casa de Cambio is much better. If you will find a lot of people on the street with like money in their hands and they exchange money as well. I don't always recommend those people because sometimes they can scam you. They can give you fake money. Unless you have a friend or a family member that can recommend, yeah, this guy, he's honest, he's good, he can definitely give you a good deal. But I would always try to avoid those people and just go to the Casa de Cambio and then exchange your money. You can always withdraw money, of course, but you need to make sure that you check with your bank account that they don't charge you an extra fee for withdrawing money. Because when you pay with card, which most places you can pay with card, they would charge you a 5%. So unless you don't care about that, then get cash and use that. That is one of your best bets. And if you're planning to drive in Peru, like rent a car and just drive around, explore all Peru, if you have an American and a European license, you do not need to have an international driver's license. Just with your license, that is more than enough. I haven't Googled every single country, but for those, it works very well. Another thing, technically you should carry your passport because it's your only form of ID all the time, but technically most people don't. And sometimes police can stop you and ask for your documents to check your stamp. When you arrive by plane, lately they don't give a stamp anymore, but just with your passport number, it's registered. It says when did you arrive, whether you pass overstay or not. So if you're within your 3 months, you're fine. So the right policeman that stops you and asks for your passport and stuff like that, you show them a picture of your phone or something like that, and they check, they will know that you're still good, you haven't overstayed, and then you're fine. But there's some police who are not the police who are supposed to check you, but they will tell you, oh, you overstay, you need to pay, I'm gonna take you to the station. They are just trying to bribe you and get money out of you because, like I said, the right police will know if you overstay or not. So try not to panic, know that it's a scam, know that they're trying to bribe you. I cannot give you advice on what exactly to do, but I can let you know to be prepared for those situations. Now, my favorite topic, it is safety. When it comes to safety, if you ask any local about how safe Peru is, the majority will tell you, oh, be careful. If you bring like golden rings, you need to take them off. Gold chains, you need to take them out. Don't wear anything flashy, don't wear anything too expensive because you're gonna get mugged, you're gonna get robbed, they're gonna take it out of you. So in my opinion, now that I've traveled a lot more around Peru, in Lima, you have to be vigilante. Of course, there are some areas in Lima that you can't just go with all of your expensive stuff. You will get targeted on. But other than that, it's not really bad. And when you're outside of Lima, when you're in Cusco, when you're in Arequipa, when you're in different states, like it's completely I wouldn't say completely safe, but it's definitely much safer. As long as you're vigilante, you have common sense, you don't do anything dumb, and you always watch out for your stuff. I've carried my camera, I filmed my videos, and there was no, I never felt like I was being targeted or looked up or anything like. So this is just more of a, you know, common sense, like, right? Just pay attention. One of the reasons why I like always having this type of shots is the slingshot is because I can always, from behind, I can just swing it to the front, and then I have my stuff right in the front, so I can protect them. Other than that, relatively safe. I can definitely say that. Well, that's all I have for you today. I hope you found this video helpful for your next trip to Peru. You know what to bring, documents, travel smart, safety, and all those things that you can prevent, you know, to have a much better, pleasant travel. If I forgot anything, make sure you leave it in the comments below. If you have any questions, any doubts, just please ask me, and I will do my best to answer all of them. So thank you all so much for watching. We will see you guys in the next video. We're gonna keep traveling around the world. We'll see where we're gonna go next. But until then, goodbye.